Yes, sir.
Tom?
Died.
Hold on here.
Recording in progress.
Is that you, Tom, that's recording, or is that somebody else?
I'm recording.
Okay.
Okay. And,
I just checked.
I'd like to call this meeting to order of Tuesday, March 5th. How about the opening prayer? Mr. Gopel, opening prayer and pledge, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, your wisdom, and your support as we begin this meeting. Help us engage in meaningful discussion. Allow us to grow closer as a group and nurture the bonds of our community. We ask for peace in the warring countries. Bless the sick, the injured, and those who have passed as we pray for an end to the conflicts that exist today. We ask these in your most holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'll call the roll call. Lorraine is absent. Krug is present. Tucker,
Present.
Gopel,
Here.
Kotrick,
Here.
Kessler,
Here.
Reed.
Here.
Good. I would also like to note that for the recording, Attorney Jack Belzer, Operation Manager Tom Broker, Zoning Administrator Mike Dean, Fire Chief Bowles, and on the web is Melissa Lawrence and Alan Lawrence, the Township Engineers. Tom, will you do the recording announcement,
Sure.
please?
To the members of the public attending tonight's meeting in person or via Zoom, please be advised the meeting is being recorded to be shown on Public Access TV, Spectrum Channel 191. Recorded meetings are also posted on the Fenton Area Community Television YouTube channel. For those attending via Zoom, we ask that you keep your microphone muted until we reach portions of the meeting where public comment is allowed. For tonight's meeting, there is one public hearing for the Lake Panema Channel Special Assessment, during which public comment will be taken. All other public comment will be taken near the end of the meeting. Meeting materials are available for download on the Township's website at fentontownship.org.
Thank you. In the absence of Supervisor, pardon me, Lorraine, we need to appoint a temporary chair. Need a motion, please.
Motion, Krug. Support.
Roll call, Tom.
Lorraine is absent. Reed?
Yes.
Patrick?
Yes.
Krug?
Yes,
Kessler?
Yes.
Gopel?
Yes.
Tucker?
Yes.
Motion carries.
thank you. Are there any requests to change the agenda tonight? Anything that? Okay, I need a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Support.
Call Tom.
Krug?
Yes.
Patrick?
Yes.
Kessler?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Gopel?
Yes.
Tucker?
Yes.
Lorraine is absent. Motion carries. The agenda is approved.
The next is meeting minutes. Include the packet of the meeting minutes for February 20th. Are there any corrections or requested revisions for these minutes? Hearing none, the meeting minutes stand approved as presented. The next is expenditures. Are there any questions about any of the invoices we presented to you folks this time? If not, a motion is in order to approve the expenditures totaling $263,974.76.
So moved. Support.
Roll call, Tom.
Reed?
Yes.
Gopel?
Yes.
Tucker?
Yes.
Kessler?
Yes.
Lorraine is absent. Krug?
Yes.
Patrick?
Yes.
Motion carries. Expenditures are approved.
Good. Tonight, we have the public hearing on Lake Geneva channel improvements. This is a time where if you have questions pertaining to the dredging of the channel, I invite you to come up, give your name, and we'll try to give you any information that you feel you need. Yeah. Mr. Broca will do a review, and then we can go from there.
Okay, so this will be a public hearing on the special assessment roll for the Lake Geneva Channel Improvement Special Assessment District Number 3 for the dredging of the mouth of the channel. The proposed assessment amount in the special assessment roll is $1,486.49 per parcel, which will be spread over 5 years plus interest at 5%. At this hearing, the board will accept public comment on the following: an individual's assessment in relation to the benefit received, the total cost of the project, and the validity of the proceedings to date. So at this point, we can open it up for public comment.
Anyone like to address the board, please? Come right up, sir.
Hello, my name is Walt DeBell, and I live on Eastview Drive at the very end of Eastview Drive. You can see the channel or the lake from my house. And I talked to Tom a couple weeks ago on that subject, on why the rest of the lake residents are not being assessed this, because they use that channel as too. Not a lot of them, but they do.
Yeah.
And at the same point, I don't go down that channel past where my house is. I go out to the lake. So why should I be charged for that then if nobody else on the lake is being charged? It doesn't make any sense to me that the rest of the people on that lake that are using that channel, the public access too. I understand why they can't, but I understand that there's an issue with wake speed going on down there, especially down where we live. And part of that, where it's not any homes down there when you get around the corner to go down towards Landings Way in North Road. Those, not all residents, only a handful, are going faster than what they should, washing all that dirt and soil in there. And we're gonna be responsible for a handful of people that are doing it, and we've called the Marine Patrol, we've done everything that we can possibly do, and nothing gets done. And so, I mean, I was with this when we went through it 5 years ago, and I've been out here. My grandfather bought, probably one of the oldest residents, me and my brother lived next door to us, one of the oldest residents that's on that lake.
Okay.
And we try to tell people that it is protecting everybody's rights if you don't go wake speed. And you know what? They just ignore it and just call me every name in the book and everything else. And so I'm just concerned why the rest of the residents are not being assessed. And then I have a lot next to me, so I'm getting double whacked with this charge. So I have a parcel, a 50-foot lot plus a 100-foot lot that that we live on, me and my wife. And I don't think I should be charged that extra, $1,400. So anyway, I just want some input on that. And what can we do to stop these people from going wake speed down there? Because the police, I know they're limited on what they can do, but they don't come down there and patrol that channel a lot, at all. Very rarely will you see them. You'll see them out on the lake, but you won't see them in that channel.
Well, I can only relate that the assessment is best placed on those that have a direct benefit from it.
Yeah, but at the point, you know what? There's only a handful of us that live, on Eastview that's on that lake, and yet we're paying for the rest of those people that down there that are going, it takes them, I agree, if they don't go wake speed, it's gonna take them a half an hour to get out there, especially the ones that live the farthest down. It's gonna take them a long time. But when you get to my house, it's less than 2 minutes away. And no wait, but yet they'll still go out there and just hammer it.
Well, the only thing I can relate is when John or Tom jump in, anybody, we do the assessment on people that get the direct benefit. The case I have in my personal life was they repaved Crane Road a few years ago. I live on Crane Ridge, and I wound up paying a special assessment because I used Crane Road to get to my house. And I kept thinking, that's not fair, but like I said, it was logic. It's the only way I could get to my house, other than if I dropped in from the helicopter. But no, I mean, it's that type of parameters. Anything?
Tom, can you move that over here as well?
What's that? That's part of the PowerPoint that Brandon's running from the back. I don't know.
Oh. That's the area that we're talking about?
One right here, John.
Yeah. Where's the
I'll get
gentleman
out of
located?
your way.
All the way to the left, Tom. Or,
This
Yeah.
is the
yep,
area
go
that
up.
would be
Is that your house at the very top?
It's the next one towards the lake.
Yep.
So all the way up, there's that one house there, and I'm the next one, right about where his finger is.
Okay.
So where they're cleaning is out in front of your house?
No, it's at the channel mouth.
Oh, up here, I see.
It's for everyone who's
Yeah.
needs it.
Okay. I'm sorry, but I don't see how you can say that you're not benefited by that.
No,
I-
I'm not saying I'm not gonna benefit from it,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying it doesn't need to be done. What I'm saying is it shouldn't have to be done as often as it is, people would not be going way speed.
Yeah, the problem is you can't put a speed bump out in the lake, you know, and.
No, but it's a no-wake zone.
I agree 100%, and I got the same problem. I'm over on Tupper. There's not a good enforcement mechanism. I wish I could tell you that there was something that if anybody else knows of a great way to do that, but even when they're out on the lake, when you see them out there, they're not writing tickets. They are educating and informing.
Excuse me for saying this also, the channel going into Squaw Lake, and I know it's not Squaw anymore, but that's another story.
Yeah, it's wow.
And I'm in complete agreement with you guys on all that, on that name, but, what's gonna happen when that has to be dredged?
Well, again, it'll be the same people, same concepts will be implemented. It'll be the people that directly benefit from that, not people that indirectly benefit.
But the
Although
people,
sometimes-
okay, the people on Squaw Lake, are they gonna pay for that? Because they're going, just about 100% of them are going out to Lake Panema.
Well,
Not anybody
yeah,
is
no,
staying there.
That's
That's
exactly
what I'm
who-
saying.
That's exactly who's gonna be assessed, is the people on Big Squaw, Little Squaw, along the canal, and that's probably it. I don't know that we move out into,
Yeah, I mean, a channel that connects two lakes is a little different than what we're dealing with here, which is a channel that gives access to a lake to people on other parts of the channel, canals. So, you know, it's hard for us to determine that anyone out on the lake is benefiting from this project. Because they don't need it to use the lake, and they don't need it to get to the lake. So, you know, if we get something on the canal between the two lakes, that might be a different situation where the petitioner, or the groups might come to us and say, this is the way we wanna do it. Okay, we might do it that way. But in this case, and this is the third time around with this project, I think the first one was in '97 and the last one was in,
Yeah, I've been through all of it,
Yeah.
so I know when it was done, and the last time they did a fantastic job. But it only cost us like $500, you
it
know?
was a lot cheaper last time.
Yeah. And then they went out a lot farther than what they're gonna go out. They went out maybe 30, 40 feet farther out and didn't charge anything for that. Because they seen a problem there as you go into the mouth. And what I've seen from that pamphlet you gave me, they're only gonna do the mouth of that channel.
Yeah, that was the proposal that
Well, those guys seen a problem that did it before, and then they just took it upon themselves to do it. And it didn't go out very far, but they went out deep enough for it lasted for as long as it did. That's all. Like I said, I know it has to be done. But I just want some more enforcement down there that people are doing wake speed. And like I said, it's only a handful that live down there.
Yep.
But I get called every name in the book for telling people to slow down and everything else, and got almost fist fights and called every name in the book and everything else, and tempers flare, and I'm not saying I haven't done the same thing. But you just get so frustrated at trying to protect everybody's rights, and people just don't seem to care. And
Well,
now I
one-
have to pay, over $3,000 because I have a 50-foot lot.
The one positive thing you can walk away with is if you have that property in the home you're in, having a channel to the lake definitely increases the
True.
value of the property.
True, no doubt. But I just don't think I should have to pay twice as much as everybody else.
Okay,
Anyway, I said my piece, so thank you guys for listening.
thank you.
And I know your dad, knew your dad,
Yeah, thanks.
and seen your mom a couple years ago at Lisa Rose's place, and love your mom.
Well, thank you. I'll tell her you said that.
Tom, can you address the double assessment issue?
We actually used the exact same parcel list that we did 14 years ago, the last time we did it.
Are there any vacant parcels, or has he got the only vacant parcel?
We've got more than one situation where they own two parcels. I don't know off the top of my head if any of them are vacant. We've got Nagel that's got two, Krull that's got two.
I mean, I have a little more sympathy for that. If it's not improved and there's just one residence, you're only really getting one benefit out of it. That's,
I agree with that.
if they're both improved, that's a different situation.
Or if there's a dock on another one. with
Is
a
the
different
second
road.
lot vacant?
Yes.
I get that.
We could certainly just adjust that.
Could I,
Please.
I don't think you can do that. If you're assessing it by lot.
Well, is it by lot or by improved lot? I mean,
it's
you
just
can
by
do it either way,
lot.
right?
No, the statute says by lot. And just off the top of my head, without having the statute here, I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can make adjustments for unimproved lots.
Well, I know that happens, like, for instance, with, I don't remember if it's mosquito or fire, it's only on improved that we're doing it. It's been that way for a long time.
Well, it depends what the purpose is. I mean,
Well,
I would
mosquitoes is
not-
mosquitoes, fires is they have a fire truck.
well, I would think that's not a proper delineation, and it may invalidate the whole, if you're gonna do that, at least we ought to look something up, but,
I'm not opposed to you looking up if you think it's illegal. I'm just,
yeah.
I know that it's been done, cause
Well, I know, there's been a lot of things done. Yeah, I don't think you can do that. I mean, I think the statute says either by lot or by front foot, depending on what you're doing.
Well, the statute says that the assessment should correlate to the benefit received. And
Per individual, but
And
you're taking, really, Fenton Township, the board here gives a lot of leeway to the residents. And I understand that, but I'm a lawyer, so I don't have to do that.
I'm not giving leeway. I think what he's saying is a valid objection.
Well-
I don't think he's getting any more benefit because he has two lots than anybody else down that channel. I think he's getting the exact same benefit.
Well, he could combine the two lots and have one lot.
I don't know why that matters. I mean,
Then it'll only
it-
be one. Well, I'm just telling you, I don't think you can do that, but I'll be
Yeah.
glad to look it up. I can't do it right
Yeah.
this second.
well, what the heck, Jack?
My brain
Well,
isn't
I'd
very
appreciate
big. I
if
can
you guys
only have a
could
little
do
bit.
something, because we're on a fixed income.
We'll take a look at it. He's got legal concerns. We'll see what that turns
Like I said,
into.
I'm
but-
on a fixed income, and
Yeah.
any help would be grateful, I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate your argument that you're being double assessed with a single house. And that I don't think it's, that's what we're here to talk about, is the the benefit to this individual relative to everybody else, and I think you have exactly the same benefit as everybody else, but just once.
Well,
That's just
however,
my
the only
thought.
problem is if he sells one lot,
Yeah,
he's gotten a benefit the same as whether it's improved or not, because dredging that out improves that lot. And
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if there's a residence on it or not, it goes back to an improvement to the value of the lot. But I'll look at the statute and you guys can make whatever decision.
What we could do is just not take action on the resolution tonight, complete the public hearing, because we don't need to reconvene the public hearing, but we could delay action on the resolution to the next meeting, if that's what the board wants to do.
Or you
let's
could
check it
continue
out.
the
I
public
don't
hearing
wanna.
either way.
I'm sorry?
Or you could continue the public
Yeah,
hearing
that's true.
either way.
Yeah, without notice, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no downside to just continuing, and then if somebody
Sure.
else comes in, we can talk to them.
Hi, I'm Dominic Corso. I'm here to represent the PST Lake Association, to be here tonight for this meeting. I just want to speak to the concerns with the no wake zone, that Tom had provided me a new sign 3 years ago. I had actually put it up at that point. We should just make sure that that signage is nice and visible, you know, at least when they're done with this project, because they'll probably have to remove it for the project. So just, we could make sure whoever's doing the work, or get some new signs. I think one thing that might be helpful is if we had a few more signs and posted down that channel, because it is kind of a long channel that some people don't really, they see it when they come in, they think it's wide open after they get through the houses area.
I think we have a few
So-
extras here, so. if someone wants
And
to-
I would certainly put them in, just like we did last time, so.
Can I say something? Those signs disappear in a very much a hurry, believe me. You put one up, they're gone.
Well, the one I put up there was still there last year.
Thanks.
I put it up 3 years ago. So, but that, just to address that. And I'm here if you have anything you need from the Lake Association as well.
Thank you. Anyone else like to address the board with concerns about the channel to Panema? Okay, what's our choice? We wanna,
I think continuing the hearing makes the
Okay.
most sense. Jack, would that require a motion to continue the
Yes,
hearing?
yes.
okay?
And then you can close, yeah, you continue the hearing, then go back to your regular work.
Okay. I need a motion to continue the public hearing on the Lake Panema Channel Improvement Special Assessment District 3.
So moved.
Support.
To a specific date. I mean, so your next meeting date, you have a specific.
March 19th.
March 19th. That fit then, Jack?
Yes.
Okay.
Still moved.
Support.
Tom, roll call, please.
Patrick?
Yes.
Kessler?
Yes.
Krug?
Yes?
Gopal?
Yes.
Tucker?
Yes.
Lorraine is absent. Reed?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, in reports, as you all know, last Tuesday was elections, and Mr. Broker has a brief report on our turnout and how the election went. Tom?
The presidential primary, everything went very smoothly. Not only election day, but the 9 days of early voting that preceded election day. Our turnout for the early voting was 282, which actually was on the high side for the county, but that's an average of about 3.6 per hour, so it was not real busy. I expect it will be more useful in the real busy elections where people will want to avoid the longer lines and the bigger crowds on election day in November. But everything went smoothly. The election workers performed great. Everything balanced out first time through. Our total turnout was about a little over 25%, which is about what we thought it would be.
The one thing EV or early voting did, we got to hear a lot of stories and jokes over the 9 days we were there for 8 hours a day. And some were surprising, but I can't repeat them here on a televised program. Okay, next is communications that are none. Adoption of ordinances, proposed amendment to the sign ordinance. Mr. Dean, please.
So before we get there, one quick update on reports for the building department. We finally heard back from the state regarding electrical, plumbing, and mechanical. And as of Monday, we are now administrating those permits. We've already issued, I think it's like 5 permits today, and we just got the applications out there to the public, so we anticipate that to continue on. So that was a quick update for the building department there.
Thank you.
So for signs, we've discussed reviewing and revising the sign ordinance. I'll kick this off, dealt with temporary signs and how best to regulate them in a content-neutral way. Planning Commission reviewed the sign ordinance and has made a number of recommendations on that. Now, the review of the ordinance really focused on temporary signs, and at the end of the review, they did additional review of the existing commercial signs, especially focusing on Thompson Road. So one of the recommendations that came out of that is no longer allowing pole signs. And so for commercial signs, they'd be limited to monument signs. That would be up to 100 square feet and 8 feet in height. That determination was made on, how do I say this? Enacting the Thompson Road Corridor Plan and looking what other communities do, right? City of Linden, City of Fenton, Grand Blanc, and City of Grand Blanc don't allow pole signs. So removing pole signs is consistent with what's going on in the area. There was also a concern that pole signs are allowed to be up to 300 square feet without any additional restrictions. So by having them at 100 square feet, right, it's consistent. It provides a consistent view throughout our commercial and industrial areas, and that also is consistent with the nearby communities, including City of Flint and Flint Township, right? Because City of Flint limits them to 80 square feet, and I think the Flint Township was a little bit over 100 square feet, but we're not out of the ordinary with what's being proposed here. When looking at the temporary signs for residential properties, what's being proposed is a maximum square footage of 24 square feet that can be spread across up to 4 signs. So the classic example is your political signs. Right? You can have up to 4 of the little ones, or you could have 1 large one. However you want to break up that square footage, that's what would be allowed. Additional regulations have been added for the minimum base standards for a monument sign. Right? So now it's encouraged that they have a masonry or durable material appearance. And in general, the ordinance is staying the same. It's just cleaned up a bit. We did receive some comments from Jack. Those that pertain to the changes in here, I think can easily be dealt with. There was a number of comments on there that dealt with a lot of the old requirements in here. So that would probably take a little bit of time to look at. But I am here to answer any questions you guys might have.
Well, Mr. Belzer had some questions and concerns. Jack?
I don't have questions, I just
Well,
have
concerns, yeah.
Yeah, I think to pass it as it is would not be the best thing to do. I think you need to clean it up first. I mean, my letter went through all the different things.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be glad to answer any questions. I can reread my letter, but everybody
No,
here can read it.
I-
And Jack, is your biggest concern that it's not specific enough to allow
That's one of
for
the-
adequate enforcement?
That's a real big problem. And then there seems to be some conflicts in there about what's allowed and what's not allowed. But yeah, anytime you go to court, you always have to have specifics. You can't say, well, You know, a good example is the color one. It says predominantly red or not predominantly red or something. Well, I don't know what that means. You and I may have different views on that. So if you go to court to say somebody's violating that, what does the judge say? Well, I don't think so. I mean, it's like, it's not a detail. It's like a speed limit sign saying, don't go too fast. Okay? We all have different views on that.
Especially Jack.
Well, I would admit to that. But so, yeah, specificity is very, very important in any law. I mean, whether it's an ordinance or a state law or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, so I'll say about a quarter of the comments relate to the changes that are in the ordinance. The majority relate to existing regulations in the ordinance. So I feel comfortable with addressing the quarter that deal with the changes. The other 3 quarters, I can look through and try and figure out why they are what they are. If you're not comfortable, it maybe makes sense to send it back to the Planning Commission for them to further review the additional comments in here.
My only concern with that, when we were talking about this, I think Thompson Road is going to explode. And I was probably one of the voices that said, let's get rid of the pole signs at this point in time. So that, you know, I've been places where they've been all monument signs, and just personally, I think aesthetically, that's a much better look. So my only hesitation with waiting is, you know, that we get some application in the meantime. And this is just a first reading anyway, so we're not going anywhere tonight.
Yeah.
But, you know, I would be more inclined to get it in place and then come back and clean it up if we don't have it ready by the next meeting. And maybe nothing's coming, I don't know. But with water in there and what I'm seeing already at the Planning Commission level, I would rather have it. And I'm not trying to short Jack on any of his comments. I looked at it quickly. I think it's probably worth spending some time. We're going to invite Jack to the Planning Commission meeting where we do that, and he will bring pizza.
I'll second that.
So,
But
one of the options might be to just pass a moratorium on any new signs,
yeah,
pole signs or whatever, until this gets done. And I mean, that's certainly within the purview of reasonableness, because you're working on this, and it's not like you're just deciding whatever.
I'm fine with that. Either way, you know, the concept is the same.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm fine either way.
But this way
Do
you
you have
don't
any
have to
feeling
worry
on it,
about-
Mike? Is that?
Right.
I think a moratorium probably makes sense,
Yeah.
right? You know, a lot of the comments are dealing with established stuff that's been in here for years or,
Right.
you know, over 5 years, right?
Right.
So, I'm not familiar with why some of the decisions were made how they were. You know, so I don't know that even if I did have suggestions, that would be appropriate to just present them to you guys without having feedback from the Planning Commission.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. We'll just invite Jack to whenever we do that. He bills by the hour.
Hour and pizza.
Hour and pizza.
Okay, so do we need a motion tonight?
Well, you
For a
don't need a motion on
moratorium
what's before
on-
you, but if you're gonna do a moratorium, yes, you should do a moratorium pending the redrafting of the ordinance. And I mean, you can't let it go on this moratorium for like a year or two.
Yeah.
But, you know, you can do a moratorium at this point, and then when this comes back, you can lift the moratorium and adopt an ordinance.
We can't do that tonight, though, can we?
A moratorium?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
We could do it tonight?
Yeah, if it's a regular scheduled meeting, you can do anything, yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, 60 days, does that sound reasonable?
Make it 90 just to be safe. If we do finish it sooner, then we can lift it sooner.
So is it a moratorium just on pole signs, or is it, what's specifically, what is the moratorium applied to?
How's it gonna affect the planning commission? Is that gonna?
I don't think, you know, until we get an application in, I don't think, you know, it's site plan approvals when we do it. We got anything in the hopper?
Not that would require new signage.
Okay.
Subdivision, but they already have a sign.
Let's just do signs in general, because we might come up with some brilliant thing that we want to implement as we go down the road here. And if it's problematic, we'll address it then, but that's just my thought anyway.
for moratorium on any sign permits.
Yeah,
For 90 days.
90 days, yeah.
I'll move the motion.
Second. Give it to Kessler.
Roll call, Tom?
Slow.
Gopel,
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Lorraine is absent, Patrick,
Yes.
Krug,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes,
Kessler.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, moving right along, there is no unfinished business. Chief Olds, would you like to tell us about the new fire person?
We have a candidate for hire. He has completed his background check. We have not received his physical back yet. He's out of town. We were gonna swear him in tonight. He's Fire 1 and 2 certified for the state of Michigan. I was speaking with Attorney Belzer before the meeting tonight. He thinks we should share our applicant's application with the board, if we need to redact anything off of it, any personal information or whatever. So if that's something we can do, Tom,
Yep.
we'll just give it to him electronically
Yep, I can
to
add
take
it
care of
to
that
the
issue.
Going forward.
And other than that, I recommend the hiring of Ethan Jeffrey. He will be a Station 2 off of Owen, he'll be an Owen Road Fire Station candidate. And again, he's Fire 1 and 2 certified, and as soon as we can get him into a medical class, we'll get him in there after your guys' approval to hire him.
does he have any experience in fire?
No, he's 19 years old. He just went to Lansing Community College, got his Fire 1 and 2, so he's as green as can be.
Good.
No bad habits to break.
No bad habits to break. That's good.
But he's teachable, right?
Well,
18-year-old, I doubt it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I trust Ryan to teach you as best as he can, so.
I would suggest that the motion be, subject to successful completion of all
Successful
the
completion.
pre-employment screenings.
I will move that motion.
Support.
Roll call, Tom?
Kessler,
Yes.
Krug,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes,
Lorraine is absent, Patrick,
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Gopel.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there any board comments tonight on any of the issues that we have addressed or other?
This is a little, it's not very important, and it's a
Oh,
little
it's
peripheral to the election, but I was wondering, saw that we still have the ballot box out there. When, are we just leaving that up?
Yes, the ballot box, the
Yeah.
new ballot boxes, they're pretty much permanent fixtures.
Yeah.
Okay,
But they have, a locking mechanism that goes in at 8 o'clock on election night.
alright,
So you can't put anything in it until we open it up again.
okay, alright,
And there is a second one now at Station 2 on Owen Road.
thank
We
you.
were required by the state. You have to have one for every 15,000 voters. Even if you're one over 15,000, you have to have two. So we now have two.
Alright, thank you.
Okay.
And we have 15,170, so 172, put us over the,
Yep.
okay.
So they get their box at Owen
Sure.
Road? Okay. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the board on any issues, either on the agenda or concerns?
I got one more issue.
Come right up, sir.
My mother-in-law lives on Ray Road, and you guys, agreed to, I thought you were gonna put that perma-lime or whatever it's called, the new stuff down, now you agreed to just do the limestone. That road's a mess. And you guys put limestone down on there, and I know you're with Monday Township on this too, but can I get an answer why you didn't put that perma stuff and just the limestone?
Well, it will get a double chloride application, so it will have dust control.
No, it's not just the dust. I mean, that road has got wet spots all over it year round. And, everything that you guys have talked about that I've heard on the Tri-County, that perma stuff works great. And I was wondering if you could reconsider and try to do that road.
Well, as we speak, to the best of my knowledge, is Monday Township did not want to spend additional dollars on doing
Okay,
Ray Road. And as you already said, one side's Ray and the other side's Fenton Township.
right. And you're just putting a Band-Aid over something that's not gonna last in maybe a year, maybe 2 years at the most.
Well, limestone resurfacing with regular chloride will last 10 years.
It didn't the last time.
Well,
We'll see, but
It was more than 10 years since the
there's,
last
like
time
I
it
said,
was-
it's got a drainage issue. The water sits on top constantly. And you can drive through there now and it's been dry and you'll see all the wet spots. Well, it rained today, but you know.
Yeah. But that was the reason that we went with the limestone and double
Okay.
chloride, because of the ejections from Mundy Township.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anyone on Zoom that would like to address the board tonight? I don't see any, so. Okay, public comment is done. At this time, I will adjourn the meeting at 7:12 PM. And thank you for coming.